got a bottle. You can mix it with your with anything you want, frankly, but especially your Bloody Mary. I don't know if you at your age you can do whatever you want. But it's an Uncle Nearest whiskey. The great Jeffrey Wright introduced us to this, and Nearest Green was the African American whiskey master who taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey. There's a great backstory that if you don't know it, you'll love it. But we got a bottle of that coming your way. And this is another piece. Since you did say whiskey, we got some Uncle Nearest coming your way.
What?
Which is really great stuff. And you can either enjoy it yourself or give it out to one of those great artists that joined you on the album. But Uncle Nearest has got a great story. If you haven't heard it, you'll hear it soon. And Jeffrey Wright introduced us to it. And he's an awesome artist as well. And then lastly, this is not a full bottle, but I'm going to send you a full bottle because I drank a little bit of this one. But this is Uncle Nearest whiskey, who has been a big supporter of this show. Uncle Nearest, named after Nearest Green, who taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey. He was the first African-American master distiller in America. Jeffrey Wright introduced us to this stuff, and we're going to send you some of that. And then Uncle Nearest, you talked about bourbon. Some amazing premium whiskey from Uncle Nearest coming your way.
Oh, my God.
Jeffrey Wright turned us on to this. It's awesome, and they are a generous supporter of the show now. So we've come a little bit of a ways. Now we have whiskey that we can actually give people. I don't know if there's this moment in time, who you are. I always try to find an appropriate American-made whiskey, and I've been giving this out to folks because it means so much in its story. And the great Jeffrey Wright introduced us to Uncle Nearest, which I may have to give out.
Jeffrey is so cool,
but I love them. Nearest Green was the former slave who taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey. And this is better than Jack Daniels. It's so much better than Jack Daniels.
Amen.
And, it's fantastic. It's a story, and it's wisdom, and it's just damn good, and it's cool, and it gets you through the nights, and that's what Wayne Smith does for me and for America. And then I've been giving out Uncle Nearest because of the great story of Nearest Green and our friend Jeffrey Wright. So that is the appropriate American whiskey, I think, to give to you. Other stuff that's cool. And then if people listen to the show, they know that I've become a huge fan of Uncle Nearest, and they are now a great supporter of this podcast. Our friend Jeffrey Wright turned us on to it. They are about the fighting spirit and about the future and about telling the history that needs to be told, which you have done throughout your career and your life, Charlotte. So I'm sending you some Uncle Nearest 1844.
I'm not going to say no to whiskey.
It's good shit. It's good shit. Real good shit for the backyard.